Invasive species can decrease biodiversity and drive resident species to the brink of extinction. But how do these interlopers fare so well in unfamiliar territory? One idea is that they have escaped their enemies, for example, the parasite that keep them in check on their home turf. But a study in the journal Biology Letters suggests that notion doesn't always stand up. Because at least one kind of invasive shrimp is an even bigger pest when it has a parasite on board. The scientists were studying a freshwater shrimp commonly found in England. Fishermen brought the shrimp to Northern Ireland in the 1950s as a tasty treat for local trout. Well, the shrimp liked the new digs. So much that they have all but eliminated the native shrimp species. The strange thing is, they may have parasites to thank. In some streams, 70% of the invaders are infected with an intestinal worm that doesn't go for the native shrimp. But this gut worm doesn't slow them down. In fact, infected shrimp eat 30% more prey than those that are parasite-free. Which perhaps is not surprising. If you had a worm that constituted a quarter of your body weight, you had eat more too. Demography is the science of populations. Demographers seek to understand population dynamics by investigating three main demographic processes: birth, migration, and aging, including death. All three of these processes contribute to changes in populations, including how people inhabit the earth, form nations and societies, and develop culture. Most of the discipline's research focuses on humans, but there is, for example, the specialized field of biodemography, too. While it is widely known that demographers analyze populations, they can also draw conclusions about individuals within the population. This is because many of the figures commonly used in demography, such as life expectancy at birth or the fertility rate, can be translated from demographic developments on the level of the population as a whole into statements about the average individual. Today, there is growing interest among the public in demography, as demographic transition has become the subject of political debates in many developed countries. Most of these countries have birth rates below the replacement level of 2.1 children per woman, and, at the same time, life expectancy has been rising considerably and continues to rise, a development sometimes called the aging of societies. While demography cannot offer political advice on how to tackle demographic change, demographers seek to describe the phenomena related to this change, and to understand their causes. Using reliable data and the statistical processing of these data, modern demographic research embraces many scientific disciplines, including mathematics, economics and other social sciences, geography or biology.
Mass communication is the study of how the information related to entities and individual communicate or transfers to the entire world at the same time. The information is generally disseminated using the newspapers, books, magazines, websites, blogs, radio, film and television. There is a rapid expansion in the mass communication industry in the last 10 years, with more and more news channels and media houses coming into picture every year. Mass communication is actually communicating those information that is not known to people around the globe, and thus to make information available to everyone, by using the latest technological platform, in the form of blogs, websites, and television. Mass communication can be defined as the process of creating, sending, receiving, and analyzing messages to large audiences via verbal and written media. It is an expansive field that considers not only how and why a message is created, but the medium through which it is sent. These mediums are wide-ranging, and include print, digital media and the internet, social media, radio, and television. Mass communication is multidisciplinary in nature, incorporating elements of related fields such as strategic communication, health communication, political communication, integrated marketing communications, journalism, and more. Mass communication professionals use their knowledge of rhetorical principles and strategic media practices to develop, share, and evaluate effective messages to large, targeted audiences. These strategies allow public relations specialists, journalists, broadcast professionals, advertisers and marketers, content writers, graphic designers and illustrators, corporate media managers, and other media professionals to craft and launch calculated communication plans, from broadcast news to online marketing campaigns, across nearly every industry.
Many countries need better programs for replanting forests. Overpopulation has pushed a growing number of farmers onto lands too fragile to sustain cultivation. Demand for food has led to increased irrigation worldwide. In some areas, irrigation has caused water tables to drop, rivers to run dry, and wells to go empty. Agricultural chemicals that increase production often contaminate soil and groundwater and disrupt food chains. For thousands of years, agricultural development was very slow. One of the earliest agricultural tools was fire. Native Americans used fire to control the growth of berry-producing plants, which they knew grew quickly after a wildfire. Farmers cultivated small plots of land by hand, using axes to clear away trees and digging sticks to break up and till the soil. Over time, improved farming tools of bone, stone, bronze, and iron were developed. New methods of storage evolved. People began stockpiling foods in jars and clay-lined pits for use in times of scarcity. They also began making clay pots and other vessels for carrying and cooking food. Psychology is the study of mind and behavior. It encompasses the biological influences, social pressures, and environmental factors that affect how people think, act, and feel. Gaining a richer and deeper understanding of psychology can help people achieve insights into their own actions as well as a better understanding of other people. The most obvious application for psychology is in the field of mental health, where psychologists use principles, research, and clinical findings to help clients manage and overcome symptoms of mental distress and psychological illness. The mind is highly complex, and conditions that relate to it can be hard to treat. Thought processes, emotions, memories, dreams, perceptions, and so on cannot be seen physically, like a skin rash or heart defect. While physical signs of some mental health issues can be observed, such as the plaques that develop with Alzheimer's disease, many theories of psychology are based on observation of human behavior. A psychologist will meet with patients, carry out assessments to find out what their concerns are and what is causing any difficulties, and recommend or provide treatment, for example, through counseling and psychotherapy. Psychologists may have other roles, too. They may carry out studies to advise health authorities and other bodies on social and other strategies, assess children who find it difficult to learn in school, give workshops on how to prevent bullying, work with recruitment teams in companies, and much more.